Hey, you got time for a beer? I know I do. Welcome to my show. My name's Jake. It's Thursday, so I got a new beer for you. You can find me at tubajake_69 on YouTube, Untapped, Twitter, and Instagram. Tell me your stories. I like to hear them. I've got a couple that are coming up with this one, so yeah, tell me. I'll let people know. This new one that I haven't ever had before is Japanese Green Tea IPA. It's an India Pale Ale with green tea from Stone Brewing Company. They're out of Oregon. I have a friend in Oregon, and that's part of the story that I'm telling. 10.1% alcohol by volume. Bear Danishi used to brew at Stone. Now they brew in Japan, which is pretty cool. It's got whole green leaf tea. And it's supposed to add a lot of herbaceousness to this. Northern and Southern Hemisphere hops. It should be pretty good. Let's see. So it's an IPA. So you expect it to be either clear or murky. It's brewed on the West Coast. So my guess would be clear. Because, I mean, it's brewed on the West Coast. West Coast IPA, of course. Should be good. Huh. It is clear and amber in color, which is awesome because that's what it really should be for a beer brewed on the or an IPA brewed on the West Coast. Herbaceous hops from the Northern and Southern Hemisphere, out of Oregon. So good hops too. It's hoppy. They said herbaceous. If hops are an herb, then this is herbaceous. Because generally this is just hoppy from what I'm getting. There's a heavy malt character to it also. You can feel it in your on your tongue. More than likely, that's just the fact that it's 10.1% ABV. But you can feel that it's heavy, for sure. Is there a beer that this reminds me of? A little bit of the Two Hearted, or the Double Two Hearted. More that. This is a lot more bitter than that, though. I'm getting some really bitter aftertaste on it. Like it's lingering on the back of my tongue. It's making it a little bit hard to talk. But it's dry. It makes me want more. Get the malt on the front of your tongue and the bitter on the back of your tongue. And it just makes you want to drink more. So it makes me want to drink more. I told you what beer it reminds me of. A story. So I've got two. One, I saw somebody had this on their Instagram feed, and they were like, "Hey, this is really good. It tastes just like it says it does." It probably does. I'm not getting as much green tea, although mostly green tea to me tastes bitter when it's the whole leaf. That gunpowder green tea. Used to drink that every once in a while, and it tasted like bitter. Not like black tea. It tasted bitter, and it was not my favorite. Even when I tried mixing it with the Earl Grey, which I liked, it still didn't taste like the tea that I wanted it to. More than likely it's because I was brewing it too warm, but not much I can do about that because I don't know how to brew tea. So I told them that I was going to be drinking this soon, because I was, and they liked my reply, which is awesome. I like it when people like my things, and that's one of the things. Another one, a friend of mine, Josh, went to school at Michigan State, went into the military, became a lawyer in the military, which is pretty cool. He's practicing, stationed in Oregon. I don't remember which. But, you know, he's got a family and stuff, and he's like, hey, they brew right down the street from me, because he's in Oregon. So that was pretty cool when he was like, hey, that's a thing that I've seen. When I had my last stone beer, I think it was an IPA. Usually they are. That was not enough story. That's okay. Let's see what else. Kind of reminds me of a secondhand story that I had. People that I knew would, in college, they'd get drunk and they'd play trivia games, like, you know, Trivial Pursuit, because it's fun. And, you know, they're playing along and you ask the questions and it's a good time, but always somebody ends up passed out someplace odd and you don't think they're listening. Because, well, they're passed out. So you keep asking questions and people don't know the answer. Or this person, you know, people didn't know the answer to whatever the question was. Surrealist painter in the 1970s. I think that's what it was. This doesn't really tie into this so much as it ties into the quote at the end. But nobody knew the answer to whatever this question was. It had something to do with melting clocks or something like that. This person wakes up from a dead, alcohol-induced stupor and says, Salvador Dali, and passes back out again. And Salvador Dali was the answer. Which, I mean, was funny when you heard this whole story, but I don't have the whole story, so I don't know if that was funny or not. Maybe it was. I'd like to tell you that the more that I drink of this, the more it tastes like tea. I mean, if tea is supposed to taste like hops and barley, malted barley for that matter, a little bit like alcohol, well, then this tastes like tea. It reminds me of another story that I will probably never tell here. Something about making out, something. Oh, that's real good. I kind of like another, but at 10%, I'm not going to have another one. Not to mention, that's the only one of those that I bought. Anyway, I've got a quote for you. Salvador Dali said, "Don't be afraid of perfection. You will never attain it." You won't. It's really difficult to be perfect. Although I know two people that are super close. One of them is my brother. And the other one wouldn't believe me. Anyway, you can find me at Untapped, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, all at tubajake_69. I'll see you next time. We got time for a beer. And Sarah, thanks for watching. Seriously.